Hello, it's Michael again, and we're back to talk more about credit card processing. The topic is remarkably complicated. There are hundreds of factors that go into determining the rates of each transaction, and there are many different options for how you structure your rates. So it's important that any small business find the cheapest solution. For Square users, this just got a bit more difficult. Square processing rates just changed from a flat 2.75% of each transaction to 2.6% plus a 10-cent fee. In an effort to better align their rates with industry-wide transaction costs, the new rates went into effect November 1st, 2019. Though the percent taken from each transaction actually diminished by 0.15%, the seemingly innocuous 10-cent fee is what quietly skyrockets the rates. So let's talk about what the price increase means, why it'll cost businesses much more than it seems, and how to find a great processing solution. Though the change might seem inconsequential, it will be entirely otherwise for many small businesses. The rate change from 2.75% to 2.6% plus the 10-cent fee makes smaller transactions much more costly to the business. For instance, a $10 transaction formerly cost the business 27.5 cents for processing. Under the new model, it'll be 36 cents, a 31% increase for the rate. For $5 transactions, the former rate was 13.75 cents and now it's 23 cents, a 67% increase. The new rates only become less expensive for transactions that are at least $66.67. Unfortunately, very few retailers, coffee shops, bakeries, or QSRs have average transactions greater than this amount. Most are between $5 and $20. Even more unfortunately, Square only recently notified small business owners of this change, making it difficult to find a cheaper solution quickly. Citing industry standards, Square's blog post announcing the change argued that they must raise their rates to ensure that they make a profit on every single transaction. The effect on a business's bottom line will depend on the type of business you own, particularly your average transaction and your total sales volume. So let's create a simple hypothetical to help illustrate. Let's say a coffee shop averages $2,000 of credit card sales per day with an average transaction of $10. This means that they are processing 200 transactions every day and $73,000 a year. Total annual sales are therefore $730,000. Under the old pricing model, the coffee shop would pay the flat 2.75% of the total, which comes to $20,075. Under the new processing rates, the flat 2.6% comes to $18,980 plus $7,300 for the 10-cent charge for each transaction. The new total comes to $26,280, an increase of $6,205 every year. Again, this is just one example. If your business processes fewer transactions or has a greater average transaction value, the difference will be less. Likewise, if your average transaction is less than $10 and you have more than 200 transactions a day, the difference will be even greater. Businesses that are most likely to be affected by this change are the very businesses that Square markets most to: coffee shops, bakeries, kiosks, delis, etc. Sadly, these businesses are also more likely to feel the financial hit of this change than others. Historically, credit card processors have taken flack for how complicated rates actually are. The number of factors that contribute to the final price for each transaction are staggering, including interchange rate, type of card being used, swipe, dipped, or tapped, or key transactions, card present or online, processor rates and assessment fees, etc. In the end, most transactions are assessed with a fee anywhere between 2 and 4%. While many of the factors are out of a business's control, there are some ways to keep certain factors from contributing to that final tally. To combat a declining reputation and a prolific number of complaints, credit card processors have come up with different ways of bundling the fees. Remember though that the final price may be a flat rate, but the same factors go into each transaction. So let's quickly go over some of the main ways that companies structure their processing rates. First and most simplest, flat rate. This is the simplest way of assessing the fees. Flat rate structure bundles everything into one package. Square's 2.75% rate was an example of this. However, merchants don't see the breakdown of each transaction. Often the processor is taking a bigger cut of the total fee than anyone realizes. Tiered structure. In this structure, there are different tiers for each transaction, so the charge will vary. This is in place to ensure that the processor makes a profit every swipe or dip. The business, however, isn't afforded any transparency. Next, Interchange Plus. Arguably the most fair, Interchange Plus plans pass on the interchange fee, the bulk of each final processing fee, directly to the merchant at cost. A small fee is also attached for the processor, so you know exactly how much you're paying the merchant service provider. Square's new model is reminiscent of this, but the 2.6% is not the interchange fee. In many cases, the interchange fee will be lower than that amount, so they're profiting much more than the 10-cent additional fee. Finally, subscription-based services. A processing subscription is another popular route because it passes on interchange costs directly. Here, instead of a per transaction additional fee, the processor charges a simple monthly rate. This is a great route for a high volume, low average transaction value sort of business like the hypothetical. Long story short, it's not easy to find the cheapest solution out there. The best way to do this is to shop around. Companies like Square don't allow this, however. In this scenario, the processor is also your point of sale solution. This forces businesses that use the POS system to also use the processing services. Though convenient and straightforward, it will cost more money. So if you want to save several thousands of dollars every year in processing costs, get a retail point of sale that works with many different processors. In this case, you'll be able to choose between any integrated partners that the POS offers, allowing you to shop around and find the cheapest solution on the market. Not all businesses are made the same, and neither are processors. Take the time to find a solution that works for your small business. To learn more about Corona and our processing partners, set up a free trial. We'll walk you through how your POS works and help you find the cheapest processing option for your business. To learn more about credit card processing in general, subscribe to our blog and channel, and thanks for watching.